Are you ready to take your business to the next level and make the money you want so that you can create the impact you desire? Then you're in the right place. It's possible to run a successful business built around your life. Get ready for a little bit of tough love and a whole lot of strategy to grow your business without sacrificing your sanity. If you're ready to get out of your own way and step into the role of CEO, then let's go. I'm Amy Traw, and this is the Motivated CEO Podcast. Welcome back into the Motivated CEO Podcast. Today, I am talking with Cori, and she is the founder of the We Rise conference, correct?
Yes.
So excited to talk to her, hear her story, and learn more about this amazing event. It's in its second year that she has created for women because let's face it, this entrepreneurship thing is not easy, and we need each other so badly in this space that can feel kind of lonely at times. But at the end of the day, you're not alone. If you're listening to this podcast, please know that we're here. We've got your back, and there are women that want to support you and help you. So before we dive into all of the incredible things regarding the event, I would love for you, Cori, to introduce yourself to us. Tell us more about who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
So thank you so much for having me on. It's so cool to be here. I'm Cori, and I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur, as they say. So I have kind of been in the entrepreneurship game for several years now, making a lot of pivots along the way. And last year I finally said yes to becoming social media strategist. And then within a couple weeks of that, We Rise was born, which was not even on my radar. But beyond just being an entrepreneur, I am a wife, and I've got 3 young kids, and just taking it day by day.
Life is busy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Very.
crazy busy. So let's talk more about We Rise. What is it, and how did this come to be?
So before last year, that isolation and that loneliness that you were talking about was something I really struggled with. My husband worked in the oil field, and so he was gone for weeks at a time, and I had 2 littles. And then, of course, all of the craziness from a few years ago. So that loneliness really, really sucked me in. And so in Oklahoma City, where I am, there wasn't really a lot of community that I saw. And so we had someone, her name's Maven. She actually moved in and started a group called OKC Women in Business. And then so I got plugged into that, and through saying yes finally to the tug to start Hello Beautiful social media, We Rise was born. And it was incredible, like from all the struggle of the past, like all of this happened, boom, boom, boom. And so we really wanted to create an event that was community minded, that was collaboration over competition, and that really empowered women with the tools to take their business to the next level, whether that actually means starting a business or scaling a business or just reigniting that spark that sometimes we lose because of the craziness of life. And so it was just that's just kind of how it came to be.
Oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful story. I love when women see that void, that missing piece. And it's like, you know what? I'm not finding my table, so I'm going to build my own. And,
Exactly.
and it's scary. It's scary as heck at first because the imposter syndrome kicks in, and it's like, well, who am I to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Why not you? And I've really adopted that why not me mindset over the past several years. And it's really cool to reflect back and look at the growth. And I feel like, okay, by me being the one to raise my hand and go, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to figure it out because I know there's a need. That's allowing others to do the same. So I congratulate you and like commend you for doing that.
Thank you. It is. And you're absolutely right. Someone has to say yes.
Yeah.
So why not? Why not let it be me?
Right. Now let's talk a little bit about one of those topics we always hear about, community over competition. And you said that's something that's kind of at the heart of We Rise and is so true. Why do
Mhm.
you feel like so many women are still stuck in that competition mindset? Like, okay, I see her doing what I really want to do, so I'm not going to do the thing because she's already doing that. Why do you think we do that?
I think there are a few different reasons why we do. For myself, I know that where I really start to feel that creep in is when I'm feeling maybe a little bit threatened because I see someone else and maybe what they're presenting to the world makes it look more effortless, or maybe, more people are flocking to them and it's like, okay, well, why not me? What is it that I'm not doing right? And so in the end, it always ends up being that internal reflection of, okay, there's something wrong with me. And it's, I think we all struggle with that. And so when you remind yourself of that and say, hey, she's trying to do the same thing that I'm doing there. And one of the things that I've heard that has stuck with me through all of it is if you go to the store and you walk down the bread aisle, how many different brands of bread are there? It's the same thing. It's just,
Right.
and so whenever I feel that, that's what I remind myself of. And because there's plenty of room for all of us. And that's really at the heart of it is you're not alone. Even if we're doing the same thing, we can help each other so that we rise together.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love how you tied that right back into We Rise because it is so, so true. But it's really truly having that awareness and
Mhm.
just non-judgmental awareness as well, because how quick are we to like throw ourselves into that comparison mode and be like, okay, well, she must be better than me. It's like, no, no, we all started out at ground zero. You just have to keep going. And I ran a community for several years for women as well. And when I would see other women doing similar things, it was like, you know what? This is awesome. Because the
Mhm.
more of us that come together, we can amplify our reach. It's like, how can we collaborate? How can we link arms together
Mhm.
and rise together? Because I don't have the capacity to serve everyone. I don't
Mhm.
have the capacity to be everywhere at every single minute of the day. So the more of these communities that pop up, the better, the more accessible we make it so that we can all have our version of success. And this
Mhm.
is where I would love to hear kind of your take from a social media perspective, because something else you mentioned was that, for some people, it looks effortless. But the
Mhm.
reality is, it's not. It's a long game. Building a business isn't something that you just wake up one day and you're like, oh, I have millions of followers. Everybody loves me. Money's just flowing into my bank account. It's hard, but it's
Mhm.
so easy to get sucked into the swirl on social media and think, oh, well, this is reality. Do you
Mhm.
think sometimes social media can kind of skew our perception of reality?
It absolutely does. And, we, I think, have been conditioned to only share the positive
Yeah,
and to only appear strong.
yeah,
And the way that we do that on social media is really by sharing the wins or pushing the clutter to the side so you have the beautiful background or so we're not making room for the real. And I think that the people online that share the raw and the vulnerable, especially as entrepreneurs, especially as, moms raising kids and building businesses or whatever your thing is, that's what people are going to resonate with because it humanizes you almost, right? It's like, oh, she's doing it in the pockets of time. So that means it really is possible. And then I think too, remembering what your own measure of success is and not like I'm okay with the slow pace that my business is growing because I don't have all of the time throughout the day to devote to it, to someone who is maybe, doesn't have any kids and figured this all out in their mid and early 20s and is like, I can do this all day. And so when you kind of remember like their life is different than mine, and so these are the boundaries I have to set for my own success, I think that that kind of helps regulate those feelings that we have.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And we forget to humanize our brand.
Mhm.
We are consuming all of these things and we forget like, okay, just be you. And it's hard. It's really hard to share that like messy side, that vulnerable raw side because we're
Mhm.
afraid of judgment. We don't
Mhm.
want to appear like, oh, she doesn't have it together. We have this little voice like subconsciously like holding us back. But
Mhm.
honestly, full disclosure, the posts that do the best for me are the ones that I just like post on a whim. It's the ones
Mhm.
that just organically come to me that I haven't planned out, that I don't have a Canva template for, that I just do on a whim because I'm like, oh, well, maybe somebody needs to hear this message. Those are the
Mhm.
ones that get the higher engagement. But it's hard. It's hard
Mhm.
to pull back the curtain a little bit and show up as ourselves. And it takes practice. I think a lot of it's just that fear of judgment. We're so used to viewing success as it has to look a certain way.
Mhm.
And especially as moms, you are 100% right. Like, we got to get realistic. You've got to be realistic about what pockets of time you have to devote. And just as you said, you're in a season of life, you're crazy busy right now. Your kids need you. That should be priority number one.
Mhm.
But there's going to be a season where they are more independent. For me, I've gotten into the school age realm where my kids are at school for 6 hours a day. So I have that devoted time to my business. But I
Mhm.
wasn't always that way. So I think that's a very, very important point to make, to really just get honest with yourself about where you are in life and just know that the best pace for you is the one that's sustainable, the one that you can maintain without feeling burnt out, pulled in a million different directions. And yeah, the growth might be a little bit slower, and that's okay. 100% okay.
Absolutely. And I like to think back to that old childhood story, about the tortoise and the hare. And it's like,
Yes.
okay, they might be getting those goals faster, but the tortoise won the race. And I'm okay with being the tortoise right now.
Yeah.
And so that has actually kept me going quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, absolutely. It's same with me. It's slowing down intentionally
Hmm.
to speed up. And it seems so counterintuitive.
Hmm.
For me, I wiped out my offer suite as of the first of the year, and I have one offer right now, one forward facing offer. And that to me is the weirdest thing ever because I'm always like, no, I want the circus. I want it all.
Hmm.
I'm going to do this and this and this. Okay, you need that. Let's create it. But really taking the time to slow down has helped me regain that control. So I'm right there with you. I'd rather be the tortoise than the hare. Like, if I'm the hare, I'm not a runner. I'm gonna putter out and be on the side of the road gasping for air. No, I want to be the tortoise and just slowly make progress and move in the direction that feels good for me at a pace that feels good for me. Because at the end of the day, we can't buy this time back. This moment in time with our littles, we can't get it back. So I love how you said that. Now, tell us more about the conference. Tell us all the details, where it is, an overview of what to expect, and all of the things.
Yeah, so this really is a passion project. It is in its second year. This will be our second one. And really, this is just truly about bringing like-minded women together who are ready to take massive action in their business. And we have so intentionally designed the experience. It's 2 days in June 27th and 28th in Oklahoma City. And we're really going on a journey. Our theme this year is Bloom, and we have incredible local speakers that are just as excited to pour into the attendees as I am. And I think that that really makes such a big difference because, as it's not just going to be a motivational, inspirational, aspirational kind of session. It's going to be, we're doing deep work and we're going to walk away with practical steps that we can apply and actually grow our business and grow ourselves. And so we start with watering your why with Sarah Golding, and she's just going to give us the direction we're going to take and remind us why we're doing what we're doing, because we have to have clarity on that to keep going on those
Yes.
hard days. And
1000%. Preach it,
yes.
sister.
And then from there, Kayla Birch is going to help us prune the imposter out of our business and really get to the root of our limiting beliefs, and then give us the tools to do the work to start to overcome that. And then we're going to spend some time with Gina Fletcher, who is going to help us nurture our why. All of the attendees are going to do the strength finder before the conference. And so she's going to give us permission to lean into our strengths and figure out how we can leverage those best for our businesses. And then we're going to end day one with Suzanne Wade, who is a phenomenal creative problem solver. Her session is tending to the chaos in your brain, and we are going to get unstuck. And that is going to be awesome. And again, she's going to give us the tools to keep getting unstuck. And so that is such a big, beautiful day. And we're going to end with a connection hour and dinner together. All of our meals are together. And then on day two, we have Billy Ferguson, who is going to talk about harvesting your highest self and taking all the bits, the dirty bits, the good bits, all of it, and really how can we keep showing up as our highest self no matter the season that we had. And then our keynote speaker is Danielle Throckmorton, and she's going to tie it together with how to bloom in life and business. And the coolest part, I think, is after each session, we're going to have dedicated guided reflection time. So your brain's not just mush, you're going to be able to think back to all of these nuggets that you've just gleaned and then figure out how to actually implement them in your business. And so there's just so much heart and intention. And then for those that are interested, we have a third VIP day, which is with all the speakers, and we get to get really hands-on in your business. And so it's just, I get so excited.
Oh my gosh, I can absolutely tell. What I really really like about this is that it's tactical, that
Mhm.
you're combining the mindset with taking action, that you're giving participants space to implement. Because how many times have we all been to a conference where you just sit and you leave and you're like, all right, I'm ready to tackle the world, but then you get home and life happens. Like you go back into mom mode, you're trying to catch up on the laundry and everything that you missed out on. But it
Mhm.
sounds like you've really been intentional about seeding those times in so that attendees can really move the needle forward after
Mhm.
each speaker versus, okay, I'm all fired up. And then life happens. And then you're right back to square one. So that is
Mhm.
brilliant. I absolutely love it. Where can we find more details out about the conference?
So we are on Facebook, Instagram, and then we're We Rise Collective OKC is our handle there. And then all of the information is online at WeRiseCollectiveOKC.com.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Cori, this was incredible. I am so thankful for you for coming on here and just sharing more about the conference and why collaboration is so key. I appreciate you.
Thank you again so much for having me on. This has been fantastic.
Yes, and until next time, cheers to making the money you want so you can create the impact you desire. Are you loving what you're hearing? Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode.